Well, first up this evening, too, yet again, at the start of an assembly session in Tamil Nadu, the customary governor's address turns into a political spectacle of sorts as Governor Ravi walks out in protest against the national anthem that wasn't played at the start. It's customary in Tamil Nadu to have the state anthem, or the Tamil Thai Vartha as it's called here, played at the start of the session, start of the address, and the national anthem at the end of it. And this confrontation between the governor and the DMK government in Tamil Nadu has been going on for all these years. It's reached the Supreme Court, and with me is Sam Daniel, who's been tracking this confrontation very, very closely for many, many years. Sam, it's almost become an annual ritual. The governor will come and walk out. What's the sense? Who is propagating this? In a sense, should the state government also take responsibility, or is it entirely on the governor?
I think both sides, Veera Raghav. In 2003, the governor refrained from mentioning or reading parts of the speech, including reference to secularism, mentioning names of 23, yeah. Mentioning names of Periyar, Karunanidhi and Annadurai, and also women's empowerment. In 2024, his speech was so short, he wanted the whole thing to be deemed read, but walked out in a huff, even without waiting for the national anthem. In 2025 and 2026, he took on the tradition in the Tamil Nadu Assembly, beginning the session with the Tamil anthem and then concluding playing the national anthem. He wants the national anthem played first. The Tamil Nadu Assembly says it's an 8th-century-old tradition we cannot change, and there's no insult to the national anthem at all. But this time he also took on the ruling DMK, saying the speech does not mention about investments, declining investments as he calls it, and also on rising cases of POCSO, suicides in Tamil Nadu, crime against women and drug abuse. DMK says this is nothing but a propaganda, that the governor is towing the line of the BJP, and that they will also push their MPs in the parliament to do away with the system of the governor's customary address in the new year.
Well, there are many questions over that gubernatorial address to the assembly. Multiple questions raised about the role of governor. It's had contentious battles in the Supreme Court over the role of the governor itself in a democratically elected system of legislative assembly and governance. Let's listen in to the sharp reactions that came in after Governor Ravi walked out this morning from the assembly.
Governor should perform under the functions of the Constitution. So the Constitution's enshrined gives that the state government prepares the various achievements of the government as well as the future steps or future action plans for the government to take place. Instead of reading that particular document, our governor is very much read his own way. So he just taken this national anthem as his thing. It's common sense. It is common dictum. Even in union government functions or state government functions, we'll start with the state song. And during the end of the proceedings, we'll stand for the national anthem. We all sang our national anthem, end of the proceedings, and came in. And the governor has taken his own style to work at that because he doesn't want to read the achievements of this government.
The Tamil Nadu Assembly today, the DMK government gave a speech of Tamil Nadu governor which is filled with all false and fake and fudged data. The governor categorically refused to state the same and speak the same. He sought the correct data and he wanted that to be set right because it is on the assembly, it is going on records. And DMK government refused to do so, and MK Stalin, instead of sticking on to the governor's speech, wants to have his own narrative filled into the governor's speech. So protesting the same, the Honorable Governor has left the assembly, and now DMK and the ecosystem are trying to paint a false picture on the course of events.
Frequently, from the governor's office, they are making a request of playing national anthem while he is starting his speech. Again, the state government, with an adamant nature, they have declined that request. And not only that, while Honorable Governor was addressing the assembly, they switched off the mic. And now we would have seen that the statement has been issued from the Lok Bhavan. So in which he has elaborately mentioned about some crucial points. It has been ignored in the speech prepared by the state government.
Well, if the Tamil Nadu governor decided to walk out, the Kerala governor Rajendra Arlekar decided not to read portions of his speech in the state government prepared text, which is often prepared by the cabinet, passed by the cabinet and vetted by the governor before the customary address in most cases. Soon after the governor's address, Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan stood up and spoke in the assembly and said portions of the speech were omitted, resulting in a row in the Kerala assembly. Listen in to Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan before we head to our first panel this evening.
കൂട്ടിച്ചേർക്കലുകളും ഒഴിവാക്കലുകളും വരുത്തിയിട്ടുള്ളത് അംഗങ്ങളുടെയും ചെയറിൻ്റെയും ശ്രദ്ധയിൽപ്പെടുത്തുന്നു. മന്ത്രിസഭ അംഗീകരിച്ച നയപ്രഖ്യാപന പ്രസംഗത്തിലെ ഖണ്ഡിക 12, 15, 16 എന്നിവയിൽ ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ഗവർണറുടെ പ്രസംഗത്തിൽ ചില മാറ്റങ്ങൾ വരുത്തിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ഗവർണർ ഒഴിവാക്കിയവ ഉൾപ്പെടുത്തിയും കൂട്ടിച്ചേർക്കലുകൾ ഒഴിവാക്കിയും മന്ത്രിസഭ അംഗീകരിച്ച നയപ്രഖ്യാപന പ്രസംഗം അച്ചടിച്ച് വിതരണം ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഇത് ആധികാരികമായ നയപ്രഖ്യാപന പ്രസംഗമായി അംഗീകരിക്കണമെന്ന് അങ്ങയോട് അഭ്യർത്ഥിക്കുന്നു.
Well, so what's the end to this face-off? Are Raj Bhavans turning political? Are governors making political ideological points? Or are state governments egging governors or becoming irritants for them when they come to their customary address? Is there no way out from avoiding such confrontations? Joining us this evening, Salem Dharanitharan of the DMK, Madhuvanti of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and one of the most astute observers of Tamil Nadu and also constitutional issues, Suman C. Raman. Thanks very much to all three of you for joining us. We'll also have Ashwin Nandakumar, my colleague from Kerala, join in live, as well as Sam Daniel, who is with us here this evening. Let me start with you, Salem Dharanitharan. Is there a sense that this confrontation has become intensely political and there has been no efforts made by both sides to try and avert such embarrassing situations? While it's become virtually a ritual, it doesn't augur well for the constitutional process itself.
I don't think there's anything that the DMK has to do. Simple fact that he's invited and we are doing all the constitutional duties and function we are supposed to do. Let me make it very clear. In a Westminster system, the job of the governor is that he has to fulfill duties. He has no functions. That's about it. Have you ever seen the king or the queen, right, who's equivalent to a governor or the president, ever digress from the prepared speech given by the elected house? Never. Have you ever seen the governors of Gujarat or Madhya Pradesh, whenever BJP is in power, ever digressing from the speech? Have you ever seen the president under BJP ever digressing from the speech? No. Simply because the speech prepared by the state cabinet is nothing but the voice of the 8.4 crore people. People elect the MLAs in turn select the chief minister, and chief minister selects the cabinet. So the voice that is echoed by the cabinet is nothing but voice of the people. What this governor is doing is travesty to democracy. Let's make it profoundly clear. This gubernatorial procrastination, gubernatorial unconstitutional behavior do not bode well for Indian democracy. And I wish that the ADMK has also joined and supported the DMK on this gubernatorial excess and unconstitutional behavior. This is only happening in non-BJP ruled state. This is something I have to highlight.
Let me get Madhuvanti to respond to it. Madhuvanti, go ahead and respond to this, please.
I'm very good evening to you and to my fellow panelists. I'm extremely sorry that Dharanidharan says the ADMK is supporting the DMK on this, because just now on your show we saw Kovai Satyan completely questioning what had happened today with regards the disrespect shown to the governor. If they are talking so much about constitution and following constitution, why is it that when the governor asks for certain
clarifications, they should support instead of he wished they supported?
Oh, I see. But my point is, if they want constitutionally, because they go handily waving the constitution outside the parliament along with their allies in Delhi. But here, when the governor requests for the national anthem to be played after the state anthem, the governor never said cancel the state anthem and play the national anthem. He's been requesting for 3 years continuously, and they wantedly don't want to follow it. Secondly, they do not want to follow anything constitutional. The governor has every right to refrain from what he feels is not pertinent to the state cabinet's speech that is given. And the Lok Bhavan has issued a very strong statement There are issues with regards MOUs signed. There are issues with regards women's safety. There are issues with regards close to 20,000 suicides that have happened in the last year in Tamil Nadu. All this is being brushed under the carpet, and you want the governor to be a puppet to the state government. I am sorry. Constitutionally, as per Article 156, the governor serves to the pleasure of the president.
Respond to that, Selam
Dharanitharan,
Dharanitharan. Very briefly, respond to that. She's saying you're irking the governor.
There are two issues. Firstly, the national anthem. This has always been the customary. Tamil Tavald in the beginning and ends with national anthem. This is not today. Yesterday, even during AIDMK, when BJP was in alliance with them, the same process was followed. Second, when it comes to the points that Raj Bhavan has reflected, first is there are two things. Is it true or false? What allegations are false? But even if the allegation were to be true,
no, let's get Madhuvanti to respond first to what you've said. Madhuvanti, respond to what Selam Dharanitharan is saying. That it's customary, it's an old custom. Why does the governor want
so it is also customary to write the traditional Deepam in the Deepatun for Kartigai. Why is this government against that custom alone?
It's a different debate. Let's not mix both.
Customary is customary, sir. It doesn't matter whether it is here or there. You want to talk about state government's custom as per constitution. Talk about customs of Tamil culture also, which you want to very conveniently ignore and throw away and brush under the carpet. I'm sorry. It can't be tomato sauce for one and blood for another. That doesn't work.
For the last 150 years, that's what TMK is saying. That's what we're saying. Custom should be followed. Last 150 years.
100 years ago, this was clicked in the Deepatun. You people have a problem with that. Why are you not wanting to accept that custom?
There is no proof. There is no proof.
There is proof. The Privy Council has given you proof. You close your eyes and you want to say the world is dark. I cannot be accepting that rubbish.
Temple authority will decide.
I mean, the point here is custom. You want to talk about
go into another issue here. Let's stick to the issue on the day, which is about the governor here. Madhuvanti, I think you've diverted it to Deepatun, which is not the topic of discussion today. This is about the governor. They're two very different and separate issues.
Tradition and custom matters for everything, is all I said. I know the point of discussion today. Yeah, I don't need to be.
All right, let me get Sumant Raman to respond. Let me get to Sumant. Let me get to Sumant Raman on this. Sumant, where do you see this going on? This is virtually happening on a day-on-day basis. What do you see as a solution to this? Because it is an acrimonious exchange. Yes, Selam Dharanitharan, I'll come back to you, but let me get Sumant Raman quickly to respond first.
No, this is not an acrimonious exchange at all, Veera. It is a stage show. Because this governor's term technically expired in July of 2024. The DMK, much before his term expired, wanted him to be recalled or wanted him to be replaced. Right? They even moved up, they even spoke about it in Parliament. They spoke about it in the Assembly. Now, more than 1.5 years have gone by. They are very quiet. So, first of all, this is not the governor's address. This is the address of the state government. The governor is not expected to prepare his own speech and address it. He is merely expected to read out the address of the state government in the assembly. So there is no question of him saying that these facts, all governments put stuff like this, saying we have created heaven on earth. All governments say that. Then no governor can read any speech. This is a routine thing. As per constitutional norms, it should be done. I'll tell you one other interesting fact. Way back, about 30 years ago or more, R. Venkatraman, when he was president, actually said, this is a British tradition. Let's do away with this. Governor reading the address at the start of each assembly session. Let's get rid of it. When he was president, multiple times it was discussed. And at that time, unfortunately, I think it was Mr. Rajiv Gandhi and then Mr. Chandrasekhar, nothing really sort of happened at that point, and the tradition still continues. Now, the point is very simple. This is not about whether what the governor said is factually correct or not. He may have a point, especially the 20 lakh crore and all that. A lot of it is bunk up. So the governor has a point there. The issue is whether it is constitutionally his right to speak what he wants, or his job is restricted to reading out the address of the state government. In this case, the governor is clearly in the wrong. He has no authority under the constitution to read what he wants. He is merely reading on behalf of the state, elected government of the state, whatever they wish to have read out. If there is something unconstitutional, he can refuse to read it. If there is something that is violative of the constitution, he can refuse to read it. But he can't go and say that this issue has not been highlighted, that issue has not been highlighted, this amount investment has not come. I'm sorry, none of those have got anything to do with the constitution. So the governor is completely wrong here. The
So you're making an important point.
But the state government is happy that this governor is doing it because it's getting them good publicity. So that's why they don't want Ravi to go now.
You're saying it's getting them good publicity. It's resulting in it's resulting in a political drama which sort of becomes a platform for ideological and political positioning. Ashwin Nandakumar, let's broaden this discussion to Kerala as well. What's the sense in Kerala? Does it actually yield political dividends? What's the response? Or is it just an issue that's made for creating ruckus in the assembly?
Well, the policy document itself, which is addressed by the governor, as per the governor now, he has come forward to state that he had suggested some corrections and he expected those corrections to be made. But the government didn't make any changes to those discussion which was held, but that he was not aware of. Saying that this this particular policy document actually is supposed to give review of the previous year's performances, future policy decisions, economic and financial outlook, administrative and social economic bills that are going to be decided. And the last part is the constitutionality and the legal standings. Now, when you look at the document which is now being presented, at every point there's a complaint that is being brought in. And that is where the politics also come in. That's very interesting. Whether it is a future policy agenda, whether it is economic and financial outlook, the complaint in the policy document, it's blaming the center for it. And that is where the governor is also acting the way he's acting. And that is what we have seen.
So you're making a very important point. Salem Dharanitharan, the point is that the text that's prepared by the state government is also seen as one that's political to target the center. And that is why the governors also react the way they do. What's your response to that, apart from the national anthem issue?
It is very clearly known to the people what the welcome address that it reads is prepared by the state cabinet, which is showing the intent of the state cabinet and achievement of the state cabinet. And the government is not an officio appointed to oversee if the state government is doing a good job or not. But even the accusations he made are not true. For example, 2022, after DMK came to power, after year one, Tamil Nadu had the net highest increase in investment across India. It is the document available. The women's safety, Tamil Nadu ranks 1 as per NCRB data, as per the 2024 latest data available. So all this are false news. So he's acting as a BJP spokesperson, thereby creating the controversy and using that controversy to spread his misinformation and fake news faster. If he randomly reads out and gives a statement, no one will follow it. But if you just do a drama, and then you come out with this tweet where nation is following it, then you peddle fake news and misinformation. This is fake misinformation. This has brought disrepute to the state, to the position of the governors itself. This was not the case until 10 years back before BJP came. I would even agree we don't need governors, or even if there are governors, they don't need to this customary address, which I can understand, which is not needed. It's just a customary procedure, because we have the Westminster system which we borrowed, we are supposed to do this. Rituals and customs. But the party's official standards, we don't need governors at all.
All right, let me get Madhuvanti to respond very briefly. Madhuvanti, just respond. Last word to you before I close this conversation. All this is the governor using the stage for a political point.
Very sad to see that Ambedkar, whom they all worship in the DMK, is the one who wrote in the constitution of the duties of the governor. So this whole concept of Westminster system, when it suits them conveniently, and then talking about Ambedkar when it doesn't suit them, this is DMK's typical tactics. And every single topic about investment and women's safety that Dharanitharan spoke about is a lie, is a cold-blooded lie. The people of Tamil Nadu are watching and they will give their response in April. Having said that, I rest my case.
I'll have to end this conversation.
I have to this 10 seconds. See,
all right, Salem Dharanitharan, 10 seconds, respond.
Ambedkar ji clearly said if a governor should be elected, the discussion came. Ambedkar ji clearly said the governor should not be elected because if he is elected, he will run a parallel government. He should only be appointed because he has only duties and not functions.
To do what?
Ambedkar said. This is what exactly he said. He can't be elected. He has only duties.
All right, both of you have had your point. Sumant Raman, Ashwin Nandakumar, Madhuvanti and Salem Dharanitharan, thanks very much for joining us, because that was not the only confrontation in Tamil Nadu today. The other issue was about Jana Nayagan. There was an intense court battle which Sam Daniel, who's with me here, was tracking very closely. Sam, the suspense over Jana Nayagan release continues. What's the sense? What happened in court today?
The Central Board of Film Certification argued that it's well within their rights to refer it to a revising committee, and whatever was done was within the parameters of law. And the producers were premature to have approached the court. Had they let it alone, by now the film would have been cleared, the film could have hit the screens. On the other hand, the producers argued that there was no transparency. They weren't told about the new complaint they received till the last moment. Even that wasn't uploaded. And this involves high stakes of 500 crore rupees. The dates, they missed the Pungal release date already, and they wanted the single judge's order to be upheld. Arguments concluded, the judges have reserved the case without mentioning a clear date.
Which means the suspense continues over when Jana Nayagan's going to release. What's the TVK saying? Vijay Gopal here was at the TVK headquarters here. Absolute silence. Many question whether the party is behaving like a fan club or a political party refusing to take political mileage out of it.
TVK is playing a very safe game here. They are refusing to comment or alleging the interference of BJP-led central government over the issue. Even we put questions asking, even DMK had backed the Jana Nayagan issue, but however TVK maintains their stand saying that the case is pending before the court, so they will react in detail once the case gets over in court.
All right, once the case gets over, by then the politics of it will play out, but we'll keep a close watch on Jana Nayagan and the suspense over when it's going to release. That'll happen. We'll have clarity on that once the Madras High Court delivers its verdict on that case.